There are several sources of problems in the basic philosophy that we have in our medicine of today. We have several different systems of medicine that are being utilized around the world. Acupuncture is a completely independent system of medicine that exists in and of itself. Its idea is that there's an energy traveling through kind of a system of bands of energy transfer, kind of a highway of energy, and that in this traveling through the body, this different energy, there are certain spots where the energy gets tight and tense, or certain spots where there's too much. The traffic's going too fast, or the traffic might be going too slow, or there might be a traffic jam, or there might be a risk of a problem from too fast. By addressing these blockages or curtailment in the flow, the acupuncturist is attempting to balance an energy of the body. This system of medicine is probably one of the oldest system of medicines. And if we're going to have anything in our repertoire to utilize to consider whether a medicine or a philosophy is real, the test of time would definitely be part of this. And if that's the case, acupuncture would win, because it has definitely met the test of time. In cultures where people have dramatic differences, the North Koreans and the South Koreans still have a wall, have a big conflict. Japan, the Chinese, the North Vietnamese, the South Vietnamese, all the different conflicts of people with their ideology, their difficulties, and yet the heart meridian is still on the little finger. The large intestine meridian on the index finger. The liver meridian on the toe. Even though they disagree on so very, very much, they disagree on a host of different things. In fact, they don't even want to agree on lunch. But yet they agree on this system of medicine, this system of treatment, where people who have explored it have found, lo and behold, the liver meridians on the toe. I'm sure that over the last 5,000 years of acupuncture's existence, 5,000 years of existence, I'm sure that during this time people have offered ideas that the meridians were in different places. And yet when they check it, and they try to employ it, they try to go into a clinical setting, no, they find out that there is a reality that transcends the time. With this in mind, we have to start considering acupuncture, because it is indeed a system of medicine. Chiropractic has the idea that there is a flow of energy through the spine, and that this flow of energy can be impaired by certain blockages, which are called subluxations. Not a complete dislocation, but a subluxation. This impairment of the flow of nerval energy thereby affects our organs, thereby affects the flow of energy through our system, the awareness and the difficulties that happen, and thereby disease can be treated by restoring this type of neural flow in the treatment of chiropractic, by adjusting the vertebrae. We have the field of energetic medicine. In energetic medicine, we know that there's a body electric, that there's a body with energy. It's not just electric, not just chemical. There are certain other life energies that pass through, the prana, as we would call it, from the Sanskrit, etc. The chi that the acupuncturist would tell us. And this energy is flowing through the system, restoring vital life to all the cells of the body. This energy that flows through can be impaired in its flow, and thereby a difficulty can develop. So in energetic medicine, we're going to use electrical instruments that are going to be able to send energy in for treatment, or to measure energy for different types of diagnostic purposes. We're going to see when there's aberrant energy flow. We're going to see when there's normal energy flow. We're going to try to establish all these things. Now, traditional medicine, utilized throughout most of America today, is based on what we call allopathy. And allopathy means that we treat the symptom. You go to the doctor, and you come in, and when the doctor will say to you, "What's wrong with you today?" When he says, "What's wrong with you today?" you then reply, "I have a sore throat. I have a backache. I have a digestive problem. Whatever. But basically this is known as the symptom, and the doctor thus then fights against the symptom. This is known as allopathy. We're going to explore this, and we're going to explore why it does not work. Allopathy does not work. Many of you reaching for the dial to try to turn off because all of a sudden I've hit a button. Please, bear with me. Listen to the discussion. Imagine there's a cobra in the room that it's going to strike. Listen to what we're going to be talking about today, because we're going to be exploring allopathy pretty in-depthly. I did a study. A friend of mine had a company where he did surveys. They did surveys to marketing surveys, as you would, and they would do surveys to all different types of people. Farmers, gardeners, hardware store owners, TV shops, etc. All different types of things. They'd have large mailing lists that they would send off a survey. The questions on this survey would be determined by people who might want to sell in that area, who might want to sell to hardware stores, etc. He said that he had a room on one survey, and he would give me 4 free questions. 4 free questions that I would be able to ask people, and the population I chose was doctors. He had over 100,000 doctors on his survey. And 100,000 doctors would be mailed this survey, including my 4 questions. My first question is, what of the following would you use in your practice? Biofeedback, acupuncture, nutrition, allopathy, or homeopathy? The first choice was biofeedback. They would use biofeedback in their practice. Second choice, nutrition. They would use nutrition work in their practice. The third choice was that they believed in acupuncture. Next choice was homeopathy, and the last choice was allopathy. Now, there was a limited response to the questionnaire, of course, and this study is published in our journal. But this points out an extreme problem here. The allopaths who practice allopathy with every patient by attacking their symptoms do not understand the simple philosophy of what they're doing. These allopaths do not understand what allopathy is. And because they do not understand this, they can't see its limitations. Also, they cannot see the other side. They cannot see the wisdom of some of these other forms of medicine. So we're going to explore allopathy in much more detail. One of the best examples of allopathy and allopathic medicine is that of the painkiller. You have a pain and you come to the doctor, and this pain is a message from some place that something's wrong. But now the pain is the symptom, and it is the symptom that he wishes to address, so thereby he prescribes a painkiller. This would be akin to driving home tonight, and there's a little oil light comes on from your dashboard, and you take out a piece of tape and cover up the oil light so it won't glare in your eyes. Because what this is a glaring in the eyes, and this glaring in the eyes is the pain. It's a message. The oil light has the message that there's not enough oil. We need to do something. Whereas in the pain, it's the same thing. It's a message. Pain is God's gift. It truly is, because without pain we couldn't exist. We wouldn't know when we are resting our hand on the stove and we smell something. Oh, what would that be? So we have to recognize the fact that pain is part of life. We often say, no pain, no gain. It's very true. We need pain. To block all pain would be wrong. But when we see pain as the symptom, then basically, and we attack that symptom, then we are practicing allopathic medicine. And allopathic medicine doesn't work. Allopathic medicine doesn't work at all. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, live from the Improvisation Theater. We'll be talking to you about all different types of things regarding the death of a synthetic allopathy. Yes. See, the doctors get a crazy education First thing that doctors learned is drugs. They learned how to send out some type of magic pill. The man had these headaches. They start in the back and they come forward. They go in the back and they come forward. These headaches are killing him. Doesn't know what to do. Goes to the doctor, of course. Doctor prescribes a painkiller. Pain is the symptom. Symptom's the enemy. You got to use a painkiller. That's the whole idea of allopathy. It's the whole idea of the modern medical system. Fight the symptom. This type of painkiller is the same thing as what you have an oil light on the dashboard of your car you're driving home tonight. Take out a little piece of tape, cover up the oil light. It doesn't glare in your eyes. See? Same type of idea. Cover up the pain. The pain is the enemy. This is wrong. It's a wrong idea. Man has a pain. Comes back. Doc, it's still killing me. Don't know what to do. By the time I get to work, it's killing me. I get up in the morning, it's okay, but I just can't work. I got this pain. Doctor says, tell you what, I'll use a stronger medication. This is what the doctor's training is. Doctor's training is first to use a medication. First he's going to use a drug. If that drug doesn't work, his next alternative, use a stronger one. Increase the dosage, maybe switch to a different drug. There's plenty of them to choose from. The pharmaceutical companies got lots of choices in these painkillers. There's all kinds of things that they can do. So, comes back. I'm sorry, doc. I tried the stronger stuff. I tried your different drug. It still doesn't work. I have this pain that starts in the back, comes forward. What am I going to do? Doctor says, well, drugs didn't work. Our next recourse is surgery. That's the medical treatment. That's the medical education. The medical education is to first teach you drugs. If drugs don't work, we teach you surgery. How to cut, stab, burn, radiate. All kinds of different things. We have the new type of radioactive surgery. Destroy the thyroid. Like George Bush Sr. got. Of course, George Bush Jr. got some type of other cocktail. Destroyed another organ, his brain. What were we going to do? So, they decided to do surgery. Woke up the next morning. Before the surgery, of course, you have to sign a waiver. You have to have a waiver, right? Waiver says that medicine's not a real practice, it's pseudo and all that other stuff that they tell. Anyway, signs a waiver, wakes up the next morning, doctor castrated him. Doc says, well, we know you're not going to have the pain, but here's what you should do. You should go out and get yourself a new house. Get yourself a new car. Get yourself a whole new wardrobe. Man says, what the hell? So he goes out, he buys a new house. Feels better. Buys a new car. He feels better. Goes into a real swank British clothing shop to buy a whole new wardrobe. And the salesman comes up and says, bip, bip, chitty, old chip. But I know exactly what sizes. I can just look at you. You have to say a word. I know exactly what sizes. I know exactly what styles, what color. I can pick out an entire wardrobe for you. Don't have to say a word. Don't say a word. Man says, okay, stands there. The salesman walks around. Well, 16 neck, 16 sleeve, just the right size. Pulls over 12 shirts. Perfect style, perfect color, perfect fit. Looks over, 32 waist, 32 inseam. Comes over and picks out 12 pants. Perfect. Fit perfectly. Comes over, takes a look at the man, looks at the man, study. Comes over, he picks out 3 suits and they fit perfectly. The suits fit perfectly. Looks at the man and says, well, you take a size 32 underwear, you take a size 9 shoe, 9.5 wide, he picks out socks, he picks out underwear, he picks out shoes, he puts everything there, he says, here's an incredible, wonderful wardrobe. Didn't have to say a word. He says, this is incredible. This is exactly the styles, size, the colors, just what I wanted. It's incredible. You only made one mistake. That's how incredible it is. Just made one mistake. And the man, British salesman said, no, sir, I didn't make any mistakes. The man said, well, you made one mistake. You say, I take a size 32 underwear. I've always worn a size 30. So you at least made one mistake. The salesman said, well, no, sorry, sir. I can look at you, you need to wear size 32 underwear. If you're going to wear size 30, you're going to get these pains. They're going to start back here. That's the idea. This is what happens in allopathy. Drug the symptom. Slice and dice the patient. Simple little ideas. aren't always flipped.